For daily Ask Reddit. r/Ask Reddit. You're at a job interview. You get the "what is your biggest weakness?" question. What is your answer? This might only be applicable to someone newly out of college or applying for entry-level jobs, but I had a professor tell me to say a lack of experience. If you're applying for an intro-level job, it's expected. It's a weakness that's not really your fault, and you can spin it as a reason you should get the job. I do this. I always say, well, since I'm still a student, lack of practical experience in this field. Most of my knowledge is theoretical from class. However, I'm excited/motivated to apply what I learned in class to the real world. Always something that can be turned into a positive. Oh, problem. Another good one is, whenever they ask why, do you want to work here? I always research before certain things the company does that are special or tied to their mission. So for example, if a company volunteers and donates every Christmas, or they have a leadership program for women, I always weave it into my answer by saying something along the lines of, when I apply for jobs, I always try to look for companies like ABC Corporation who support values that are important to me. For example, I know that ABC Corp volunteers and donates every holiday season to the Children's Hospital, and volunteering is something that I cherish because I believe in giving back. Or, I would love the opportunity to work for a company like ABC Corporation because your values are aligned with my own. For example, I know that you. Basically, this is a good way to slip in that you did your research on the company, and they always love this kind of answer because it shows a human side and lets them learn about you as a person. Honest answer followed by how you're improving. I tend to procrastinate, but I keep that at bay by sticking to a to-do list, etc. My last job had very vague to-do lists. They were pretty much the same thing every shift. Stock X department, check dates, rotate stock, fill balloon corral, etc. So in an interview I just use that as an example for staying on task. Then they hit me with, well, how do you make sure you do things on your list? My dumb boss was like, I'm not really sure what you're asking. Just do it. The year is 2015, and I'm interviewing for my first job at an unnamed game studio. I'm super nervous. I did the pre-interview tests, and they liked them. And I get the question. I get really nervous, and I talk a lot and ramble. It's pretty much word vomit until my brain catches up with my mouth, until I catch up with what I just said, and most of the time I can't really remember the question. It got a lot of laughs in the room, but I really couldn't remember at the time what the director just asked me. Well, I'd say my weakness is the cause of me getting fired from my last 8 jobs. I bring in too many turtles apparently. I don't know how many the right amount of turtles is, because I've brought anywhere from 50 up to 300. It seems unreasonable to bring less than 50, so I just don't get it. I would be honest during my interview about how many turtles I plan to bring to work with me and let loose in the facility, but they never ask, what about you guys? How many turtles do you guys bring to not get fired? I have a solid management background. I always tell them that I'm bad at delegating. I prefer to do it myself, so I know it gets done right and on time. That it is hard for me to trust other coworkers at first. That answer seems to work so far. I know it's an honest answer and I appreciate that, but it would be a red flag for me as an interviewer. Delegating is just such a huge part of being a good manager.